Awesome. Sounds good to me. Hello everybody, welcome to the Central European Football League. Today, the Canada has issued another challenge. The Danube Dragons versus the Firenze Guelfi. Now, this is a very exciting matchup that I think the fans are going to be very, very interested in. Of course, both of these teams very historic in their own right in their own countries. Florence, multiple championships. They came in second last year in the championship to Parma. They have 5-1 this year. They're on a 5-game winning streak. They won in the previous round in this competition with a pretty comfortable win. Their offense is dynamic. It's unusual. It's going to surprise a lot of people. It's run heavy. Their quarterback, Andrea Firmani, he is the main guy there. He's definitely an orthodox quarterback. We're going to be seeing a lot of off-platform throws. We're going to be seeing 4 wide sets. We're going to see exchanges in the quarterback. We're going to see safeties coming in and playing receiver. We're going to be seeing a lot of different things in that offense. Defensively, one of the best linebacker cores in Italy. A fantastic linebacker core that they have. Defensive line, they get penetration. They're fast. They're after the balls. A lot of experience within their team in national teams and other leagues throughout Europe. It's going to be one hell of a defensive performance by them. All season, they've been a very strong defense. On the other side, the Dragons, they have Madre London, his first game back in Europe in a few years. Of course, with the Pittsburgh Maulers, this is a big return. This is huge for European American football to have Madre London back, to come in and be the focal point of their offense. Both of these offenses have struggled to move the ball. That's the big point, is this is going to be a battle of defenses to see who can move the ball with most success and who can interpret their will onto the other team. Madre, of course, is a 2,000-yard rusher in the ELF, multiple touchdowns and MVP, so he's going to bring a lot of experience. He's going to bring a lot of explosiveness. However, he is not the only player on the Dragons to be aware of. On offense, they do have a multitude of weapons. They have Dennis Kissa, another ELF veteran, man of the year, offensive tackle. Alex Thuray, the quarterback, he is an Austrian national. He's going to be coming in and trying to improve on his recent form. He has had some inaccuracies, but he's strong over the middle. His short game is going to be coming in this game. He's going to be testing the corners early. He's going to be hitting them intermediate. He's going to be hitting these out routes. Samuel Imahiragbi, the big, tall receiver. Number 13, look out for him because he's going to be a serious issue for this defensive side. He has the length. The Italian team in Florence don't necessarily have the biggest DBs, so it's going to be interesting to see how they can get over the top and deal with him on the deep ball when they aren't dealing with Madre London, because you would expect them to be loading the box. But of course, if you do that too much, become over-reliant, the Dragons can hit you over the top. Florence, though, defensively, Dijon Lynch is the main man, number 0. Notably, though, Alex Ferrari not playing in this game. He's a big player for them. He is an Italian national. He's played all around Europe, and he is counted as one of their American spots for this season. So that's a big loss. In comes other players, though. Diego Rinaldi is a very talented linebacker, and he's going to be the vocal point of that one. They do play a lot of man coverage, as you can see the refs coming in to have the ball placement. While they set up, let me give you a bit of a rundown on the Firenze defensive unit. They are big on the defensive line. Lorenzo Della Peggi is going to be a big issue for them, as Giacomo Einsom. two defensive ends that are going to be getting out to the quarterback. They're ferocious. They're two more edge rushers. They play a lot more with two down linemen. Here they are coming out in the grey, purple, and red. The Italian flags. They have a lot of support here, of course. A very iconic team. It's some very nice uniforms. A lot of their defense is going to be built off of pressure. They're going to be sending players in early. Obviously, I mentioned both of these quarterbacks have had issues with accuracy when it comes to under pressure play. That's what Florence is all about. They're going to be getting out to the quarterback immediately from the snap. Of course, not only their quarterback, they have a carousel of running backs. They are a very high volume with their running backs. Matteo Bellesi is one of the big ones coming out of there. Young guy, not as experienced, but is seriously explosive. Cosmo Castanelli as well, another player that's going to be rotating in at the running back position, wearing this defense out and giving them problems. On the offensive line, Andrea Grillo and Robert Marquez are two of their star players on the offensive line, with Ryan DeLuca being their American receiver import for this season. Here come the Dragons in the white and green trim. As I mentioned, another iconic team in Germany, in Austria, sorry. They are off to a mixed start in the league, but they are coming for their third consecutive championship in a row. This is their move into Europe. They have big aspirations in Europe, as exemplified by the Madre London signing. How is he going to be able to help this team? Any way that he can. I think he's going to be used as a receiver. I think he's going to be used as a 3-down back. I can see him being used on special teams as well. Be interesting to see what he looks like after his time away. Or the offensive line, obviously the key one being Dennis Kisler of the formerly of the Hamburg Sea Devils. As Samuel, as we mentioned earlier, the big receiver. And here he is, Madre London. It's what a lot of people are here for, to see how he performs. And there's a quarterback. Alex is going to be a big instrumental part of this. They're not going to be just relying on Madre London. They're going to need their quarterback to step up to performance in this game as well. Italian national anthem there. Passionate as always from the Italian fans and players. And the Austrian national anthem as well. Nothing quite gets a game started like a national anthem. I'll tell you that much. Okay, well, they come into the huddles and prepare for the captain's walkouts and the coin toss. While they do that, what can we expect from Danube's defensive unit? Playmakers. Hakeem Kinyard, defensive back, is an excellent playmaker. He's going to be instrumental. He creates plays all over, turnovers. That's his MO. Interceptions, forced fumbles. He had a beautiful forced fumble against the Prague Black Panthers. Destiny Iatale as well. Defensive end. Team leader in sacks. Phenomenal player. He's young. He's a very big up-and-coming player. He's probably one of the bright sparks in Austrian American football at the moment. This is a solid tackling team. As well as creating turnovers, they are solid in tackling. Defensive line, they've not got as many sacks as other teams in their conference and in their league. Penetration and finishing the play has been somewhat lackluster the last few games, as you see with the handshakes there, with the captains. So much talent on this field. It's going to be incredible to see how the dominoes fall. As they say, excellence always ascends, and we're going to see who ascends to the next round of the Central European Football League. Players take their sides of the field. You can feel the tension even from over here. A lot of people excited to see this matchup. This is one of the biggest on the European calendar. Firenze lining up to kick off. Now, both these special teams units have explosiveness. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a long return or a big hit on either of these teams. Both of them have the capacity to do so. Marcel Stefanovic there, number 45. Definitely look out for him when it comes to these special team units. And at linebacker, he's a phenomenal tackler. He's going to be all over the field today. There's Dion Lynch. There's Diego Rinaldi. And here we go. We are underway. He's taken out. That's what I say with those big explosive plays. Takes it out and is brought down. How are the Dragons going to come out? Are we going to see Madre London early and often? Are they going to try and bait in the players in the box and hit them outsides? Guess we'll find out. Didac Stefano, interior defensive line, number 7 for Florence, is going to be a big player for them in terms of stopping the run. He's a massive interior guy, as you can see. He's extremely talented and is one of the best players on this defensive unit. There we go. Hear that pop already. Fakes to Madrid London. Takes an early shot. And it's caught early. Number 17 down the sideline. One play. And we have a touchdown. Would you look at that? That is incredible. Bernard Ruscher. What a play by the Danube Dragons. We have an early score. One play is all it takes. I'd said they might bait them in with the early play action. That's exactly what they've done. Now that's inspired. Now that is something. First blood already. Seconds into the first quarter and the Dragons have the first score. How's that going to affect this Firenze team? How they deal with adversity? That's going to be huge now. See, the kick is up. And the kick is good. 7-0 for the Danube Dragons. Who would have thought? First play, score. Now we might be in for a game here. We really might be. There's chunk plays for Florence coming in again. They gave up some of those chunk plays in their previous games against Milan and against the Scorpions earlier in the season. Those big chunk plays have hurt them, especially deep, and we saw that then. Now, how are they going to respond? They're a creative offense. They do a lot of weird stuff for linemen on some sides. Sometimes they have done that in the past. They put linemen in the backfield. They have option players, running back passes even. Direct snaps to off-field players. This is a creative offense. They're going to be testing the Dragons' defense from start to finish. Well, that is quite the start. We've already got a first score. We're going to have more kickoffs than offensive plays once this is delivered. And there it goes. Are we going to see a ball out? Yes, we are. He's brought out pretty controversially. He's gone down on the left sideline, about the 20-yard line. Looks like it may have been a fumble, but the referees are waving it off. They look pretty confident that the ball was not dropped before he was down. Receiver of note here is going to be Nicolo Fortemassa. He has led the team so far in the league in the receiving game. The leading rusher, as I said before, is the quarterback. So how are we going to deal with that is the Dragons' main concern. Interior pressure is going to be huge. Because if you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. Whistles from the referees. Florence have to... Oh, here we go. No. A flag on the play. The Florence offensive line is incredibly talented. Marques, Corrido, both of those guys are veterans, but do hold experience and do hold the fundamentals as well of great offensive linemen. As I said before, they're not afraid to use an extra offensive lineman in at fullback. That's something they have done in multiple games, something they're not afraid to do. They'll put a fullback at running back, they'll put a lineman in at fullback, and they'll run heavy. They will use their size. As you can see, they do have big size in the trenches. It's handed off to the running back, who bounces outside of Hakeem Keenard. As we've said before, this is a carousel of running backs. They're going to be rotating guys in. They have a high-powered offense. They're rotating constantly. They're running fast. They're getting to the ball. Line up to throw. Delivers the ball outside, and it's caught on the sideline. Great catch there. Very nicely done. Quarterback delivered that. That's what he can do. He may not be the most polished fundamentally, but he can make big plays. He's shown this over and over again. Deep bombs. He will be able to deliver that. He can deliver with his legs. He's physical when he runs. He is taking on linebackers, taking on safeties. Doesn't matter who's in his way. He's going to try and get some extra yards out of it. There's that full wide set we mentioned earlier. Empty backfield. Looking immediately there. Pump fakes. Gonna move around the pocket. Here he comes with this playmaking ability. He's out wide. He's got a little bit more space. He's going to take on the linebackers and the safeties and get those extra yards. That's what he does. Santani, another talented offensive lineman there, number 69. There's an interesting problem to solve for the Dragons. Not the most interior pressure for them throughout the season. How are they going to control this run game? There's the play action. Quarterback takes it again. Oh, ball's out! Ball's out! It's on the round. The Dragons have got it. They're running it back. It's going to go all the way. Wow! Big plays. Paul Schneider, the defensive back, the Austrian defensive back. What is going on? What is going on? We need to see a replay of that. The quarterback takes it. Ball comes out. It's all going here, there, and everywhere. Ends up in the Dragons' hands. Fimiani losing the ball there. Let's see if we can... That is unbelievable. Let's have a look at the replay. Ball doesn't show it, but I mean the ball is out. That's pretty evident. Paul takes it the length of the field. Kick is up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a start for the Dragons. The Danube Dragons couldn't have wished for a better start. One play on offense, score. Controlling the defensive tempo. Gave up a couple big plays, but then made their own big play and ended up scoring on defense. Turnovers win games. It's a cliche, but it's true. Currently they are 1 up on the turnover battle. Wow. Wow. Now this is quite something. Dragons said Fred Armstrong, the head coach and GM, made it very clear with the signing of Madrid London. We are here for European competition. We are here to dominate. We're not here to take over. To quote a very famous mixed martial artist, we are not here to take part. We are here to take over. But I'm not taking breaths. My breaths are being taken, that's for sure. With the start that the Dragons have had, incredible. I believe that is Chavaro who was taking a kickoff. The Dutch national player, former NFL Academy alum. Excellent prospect out of that country. It's another kickoff that has been taken short. And he's about down to 15-16 yard line. 14-0. Dragons. Still early in the first quarter. We've had 2 drives. 2 Dragon scores. Incredible. Incredible. Let's see how Florence can bounce back again. Double bounce back. They're going to need something here. They're going to need to score. to just get some of that momentum back, they're going to need to start putting stuff together. They've had success with the runs thus far. They just need to keep hold of the ball. Firmini is getting gains. Premature snap there, whistle blown in. But unsure of the situation. Their last game, Florence struggled, a lot of drops from their receivers. Be interested to see how they do that. They've delivered a snap while the Dragons are still getting ready. He's taking a shot deep. Here's what he does. It's Rainbow's over. It's a big catch! Huge, huge play by Florence. This game is something else. A big, big play. Didn't quite see the number before it cut out. But a huge, huge play. He has the arm. Again, he's not the most fundamentally sound, but he gets it done. We're going to go to huddles for this one. Music is very intense at the game, and of course, it's been an intense start, so I feel like that is appropriate for the situation we are currently in. We've seen resonance of that creative offense so far with that 4 wide set. We haven't seen as much of the run game as I would have thought. We have seen people like Guelfi come in and take jet sweeps from the receiver position, even as running backs. Here they go again. It's caught over the middle by the tight end, Bostita. It's a good catch. Important. It's not all about the big plays. Sometimes just need a ground the offense. Second down. They're in the red zone here. Interesting to see what they dial up. Maybe a quarterback draw could be seen here. It looks like a screen. Yes, it is. Coming in. He's coming to come into the end zone. Virtually untouched. Arm tackles only. That's not going to stop him. He is through for the touchdown. That's 6 for Firenze. That's so important. For momentum, for energy, they needed that score. Have a player down, unfortunately, for the Firenze team. Hopefully he is nothing serious. He can continue on playing in this game. I have a replay of the screen here. Comes in, bobbles the ball, but is able to fight through those arm tackles. That's Canasti. Now one of those running backs that has seen success through the multiple players at the position. In the red zone here. Be interesting what they do. Of course they've dedicated go for the kick here. Should be routine, but you never know with PATs. Anything can happen. It's up and looks to be perfectly fine. Straight down the middle. Perfect kick. That's 7-14. Still in favour of the Dragons. But we've had nothing but excitement so far. 2 drives for Florence. 1 score, 1 defensive turnover that led for a score for the Dragons. one play on offense only for the Dragons so far, and they scored. If you want entertainment football, this is the place to be at the moment. We haven't even seen Madre, and this game has been insane. So, I think that tells you a lot about the quality of football that we have on show for us here at Central European Football League. Now we're going to see the Dragons again. Of course, they had their one shot, big play action pass, hit over the middle for a long touchdown of the first play of the game. But what else can we expect? Of course, we mentioned their offensive line's good. We mentioned their receivers have height, have length, have the reach advantage on many of the DBs for the Florence team. Oh, there we go. We are underway. Kick is bounced awkwardly, but he's going to return it out, which is a good decision. Live ball, of course, from kickoffs. Took a favourable bounce for either team, you could argue there. But receivers so far in the league, in the AFL, have struggled with holding onto the ball through contact. That's one thing we've seen a lot. It's contact over the middle. It's been able to force the ball out. They had McShane in at running back. He was the leading receiver for a while as a running back. He's now injured. They've got Madre in, who can play as a receiver. We've seen him line up as a receiver in multiple leagues. We know what he can do. We know the explosiveness. But this is not just the Madre London show. This has been such an incredible back and forth already. Now Dragons are looking to make their mark once again with another offensive showcase. Yeah, that defensive line for Florence is certainly one of the best, if not the best, in Italy. Madre's first touch for the Dragons. Get about 7. Trips right for the Dragons there. Got to establish that run game. The Florence do play with a lot 2 down interior linemen and 2 edge rushers. It's a very common set that they run with. And like I said before, they're going to be sending a lot of blitzes. Hit in that short range, able to get a big gain out of it with some rack yards. That's an important one. The quarterback's got to heat up. Of course, he had that big play. But one big play doesn't automatically assume that they've heated up. Those short, those intermediate ones build up his confidence. He's a quarterback that relies a lot on those consistent passes. 1 or 2 incompletions in a row, you can see it starts to affect his fundamentals. You see sometimes he rushes his passes. So for him to get those short 3, 4, 5 yard gains and then some rack yard after it is so important for him. Counter to Madre London. Here he goes. This is what we come to see. Madre London showing the balance, showing the speed, showing the explosiveness. He gets outside for a big gain. Madre London, welcome back to Europe. Now that's what we wanted to see. That's what we wanted to see. He does not meet the standards because he does tend to establish them. That's Madre London. He establishes the expectations for running back in Europe. He's that good. One of the best running backs to ever play in Europe. I think some people have that opinion. I am one of those people of that opinion. It's a pleasure to be calling this game today with the amount of talent on the field. They are now in the red zone. How are they going to deal with this? Toss out to Madre London. Patiently waiting in the backfield. Gets a little bit stocked up, but is able to make a couple yards out of it. Second down, Dragons. I think an underestimated part of this Dragons team as well is the blocking ability. They've got talented blocking receivers. They're not going to just let Madre get outside with no help on the blocking outside. Of course, Dennis is a big left tackle there. He's going to be huge for them in establishing a pass and a run. Here it comes. They've taken it to the backup running back. He falls forward. How are they going to spot this one? Associative Kerbal there. Looks to be inches, if that. No signs of the rep, but it does look very, very close. For Florence here, how do you deal with this? You just kind of got to load the box, I think. It's this close to the end zone. They've got Hakeem in here. Looks like he's going to take the direct snap. 2 Americans in the backfield. There's normal safety and the current running back. This is going to be interesting. Fans are in protest as Hakeem is stuffed. He managed to make it out of a bit of a better play, but it didn't exactly look comfortable. Blocking there kind of let him down in the outside run. Wasn't able to make much of it. Managed to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard lost. It was a good job there by the Florence team. Getting the penetration. Quarterback's back in. Try some trickery. Some of Florence's own moves. Because Florence, we've seen them with some weird plays in the goal line. We've had running backs as the de facto center. Timeout for the Dragons. Deciding what to do here. A lot of playbooks get narrowed up in these kind of ranges. It's so close you can only really use a certain amount of plays. And red zone offense in itself is extremely hard. When you get as far as close to the goal line as they are, that playbook is very minimal. And with the size on the Florence team, it's going to be hard to break through that defensive line. Obviously, we mentioned Stefano, we've mentioned Rinaldi, we've mentioned Delapaghi. They have a lot of size. Obviously, Giacomo Insum as well. There's that run earlier by Madre London, breaking tackles. It's like he's never been away. Pushed out of bounds there, but made a huge gain out of it. Now, Florence do play a lot of man-to-man defense. So they usually rely on their D-line to get the pressure and their DBs to make the plays. Of course, Massi being a big defensive player for that team. At the defensive back position, Giovanni Scardone plays a lot as a nickel. And Marco Fanni as well. Another player that's able to pick up the ball. Here we are. See how they deal with this set. Empty backfield. It looks to be incomplete. He went for the inside low pass, hit the floor. Looks like it hit the floor before it made contact with the receiver. You see the defense take the field. Of course, risky to go for that kind of play on the 4th down. Rather than kick the field goal. Keeps it at 14-7. Florence with a score and then a defensive stop. Especially on the goal line. I talked about confidence and momentum. That's a big one for their confidence and for their momentum. Dropped over the middle, nearly picked off. I mentioned those drops. You had that with both teams. Both teams have had drops in their last few games. Dragons more when it comes to their contact. Florence more with maybe not lack of concentration, but just not following the ball all the way in. Maybe too much confidence in the open space. They'll take their eye off the ball. Keeps running forward. Managed to get a Semi-decent gain out of it, considering the contact behind the line. Big play down the sideline there. Missed because of the drops. Too much open space, too much time to think about it. As a drop pass, but number anyone. Mibeli. Needs to haul those in. Wide open space down the sideline. Big missed pass there. It's unfortunate. Play clock running down for the punt. It looks like they caught a timeout there. Big shield punt for Florence. It was 5-yard penalty flag. Didn't get the time off in time. Timeout in time, rather. It's going to push them back further into their own end zone for the punter here. They run with a shield punt, which is not traditionally used in higher levels of American football when it comes to leagues like the NFL. Extremely wide splits. Gonna have to be a good snap, which it is. He gets the ball off. It's a solid punt. It's getting distance. Falls to the returner. That is Chivaro. Turns upfield. Still dodging Florence players, but he's eventually brought down about the 45. Chivaro, one of the most athletic players in the Netherlands. Excellent defensive back. Is going to be a big part of that country's program going forward. Of course, the Netherlands team is having a bit of a revival, and he is going to be part of that. Replay of the punt there. It's a solid punt. Got the laces on it. And because of the coverage, although he did catch it about the 44, 43, he was only able to get a couple of yards because of the dancing. Madre London again with a carry outside. Getting physical with it. Showed his elusiveness earlier. Shows a bit of physicality there. I think the Dragons' early shot really has made Florence more aware of the deep pass. They're not stacking the box as much as one might think. They've got Lynch playing down, but without Alex Ferrari, you can see the hole that he has left. Flag on the play. Dragons are going to move back. Second down, Dragons. 2 minutes 8 seconds left of the first quarter. Started fast, started quick. Teams have kind of steadied themselves. In the last few drives, we've seen a few 4-and-outs. We've seen a few drops. Marjo's going to bounce outside for 5 or 6 yards. He's so far averaging a lot of yards per carry. I don't think we've seen him really be stopped too much, except on the goal line. We saw him stopped maybe 1 or 2, but that is an exception rather than the rule. Pass delivered to the sidelines for a first down. Good catch through the contact. Madre motions over to receiver. Well, looks right. Hitting the short plays again. Number 11. He's had a few impact plays on this drive. 2 catches in a row for him. There's Lawrence Lagner. Clock's going to tick down. Looks like we might go into the second quarter. It does seem to be the way. We're going to have second quarter, first quarter roundup then. Dragons, big shot early, first score. Florence's first drive resulted in a touchdown for the Dragons with that long fumble recovery. Florence then worked their way up the field, get that screen for a touchdown. Since those first three drives, both teams have kind of stabilized. Big plays on either side and a few 4-and-outs. A couple flags coming in towards the end of this first quarter. But Dragons on the ball with an opportunity to make it 21. Firenze possibly with the slight momentum advantage, given the confidence they would have had from those first couple of stops now. Madre is getting a little bit more involved. We saw that big run earlier. We've seen the passing game being more utilized. Interestingly, Florence, with their D tackles, don't often play a traditional nose. So the center for the offensive line they played against in the last few games has been able to get some of those double teams. We saw big runs in the last round of this competition with Belgrade. Big runs up the middle. A good 2 of them went for 40, 50-yard touchdowns. That center double teaming on one of those defensive tackles has caused a lot of open spaces in the run game. Interesting to see how the Dragons see that, if they utilize it, if Florence maybe work around it, and how it could affect Madre London coming up the middle on this defense. Pulling players. Madre able to just run through that gap. Big gain. He's so explosive up the middle. He can make those plays. There's not very many players that can, and he is certainly one of them that can. Explosive play inside the red zone. Dragons using the run game effectively, getting the pass game started. Of course, last games against Graz, they struggled offensively. It was a big part of that rivalry, and they struggled. But this game, they do seem to be moving the ball a lot with more ease. Madre gets faked the handoff towards the receiver, who's kind of caught behind the lines. The penetration from the defense there was too much, couldn't overcome it. Going to be hard to top that first quarter, in all honesty, but a start here could put us on the right track. We saw Dijon Lynch make the tackle on Madre London. That's going to be important. With Ferrari's absence, he's going to have to play more inside. He is a good tackler. He is a big playmaker. You run into Madre again, gets caught in the traffic. Is still able to get a few yards there. We can see Lynch there. do wonder if the Dragons are going to come in with a reduced playbook, given Madre has not had as much time, with 5 games into the AFL. Cool bad line out to pass. Takes a shot. Overcooked it. Had the corner out. Bit too much air on it. Incomplete. 3rd and 15. Likely to see a kick from this distance. We saw them go for it earlier inside the red zone, but given the failure of that attempt, we're more likely to see the field goal here, as it does seem they're setting up for it. That's good. 3 points on the board for the Dragons. 10-point gap, 2-point game. There's the replay for us. Easy as you like. Straight down the middle. Nicely done. Kick in today. It's been on point actually. From punting to PATs to field goals, we've had good kicking throughout, which is massively underappreciated. I think with some teams don't take kicking into enough of a consideration, but fireworks so far in this game, that's for sure. We haven't seen a fullback being used much in Florence's offense thus far. We've seen them use extra linemen in their games in the IFL. I would be surprised if they don't utilize that. Givado's going to hit this one. Takes a favourable bounce for the Dragons there. Holding it with the palm. Takes it out of bounds for the contact. Preserving himself. And Florence getting aboard again. Short screen out wide. Able to find 1 or 2 yards. This Formosa, leading receiver in the IFL for the Florence team. Unfortunate with a cutaway on that one, but we had a fake into a play action rollout and a sack by the Dragons. The first sack we've had so far. We've got close. That's a big defensive play by the Dragons. It's a replay. DeLuca in the quarterback. First down for Firenze. Can't quite see just yet. Here we are. Doing 16 play. Takes a shot over the top on the right sidelines. And he brings it down. What a play by Florence. He's able to get past the 40-yard line on the 3rd and 16. Hell of a play. Formosa leading the team with 252 yards and 3 touchdowns. Ryan DeLuca, the American, has 157 yards to a touchdown this season in the IFL. But rushing is where they make their bread and butter. And here we are seeing it again. Out to the sideline. Big gain. Quarterback's making moves. Here it comes. Inside the 1 or 2 yard line. What a play by the quarterback there to extend it and get out to the sidelines. Come back inside. Make a few people miss. Get physical with the defense. And he's able to get down. Awesome play. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Found a play. There. That is tough to handle by DeLuca. The normal receiver. That's why he's able to make those kind of plays. But we have, I believe, a block in the back. That is a tough call. DeLuca's going to be vexed at that one. That's for sure. So I'm saying with this tricky offense though, Ryan DeLuca, of course, normally the receiver, coming in a quarterback, able to take the direct snaps and then make stuff happen after the play. Motion in from the running back on the sidelines. High snap over the top of the quarterback. Still extends the play. Gets the throw out. But sadly to the sideline with no one in the vicinity. Only 9 sacks for the Dragons team, though, so far in the AFL, even through 5 games. Would expect more from the talent that they have in those positions. False start. More flags. So although they haven't got as many sacks as they would expect, they do still have 5 interceptions. They are able to get the ball out. Reed saw them make that defensive play earlier in the game. Returned for a long touchdown, so. So Luke actually looks like he's just going to play his quarterback. It's complete over the middle. Makes a player miss and goes down. Bit of contact at the end there. He stays down. That's Mia Bailey. Giacomo Miabelli, hopefully everything okay with him. There you can see Destiny not playing today. It's a big loss for that defensive line. For him to not play, but counteracts the loss for Florence for not having Alex Ferrari. Both two of their star defensive players not appearing in this game. There's that extra lineman you see, number 54 in the backfield. No stranger to this. This is what they do a lot. Direct snap to DeLuca. He gets a lot of space on the outside. Takes the angle. Is able to fall for 5 yards, 6 yards and 14 inches. Good play there by the Florence team. Another timeout here. There we go. Can Florence narrow the gap before halftime? There is more than enough time for the Dragons to get on the scoreboard again as well. But Florence throughout the first down, they got 6.5 minutes. Hand off to one of the big guys up front. They're not unusual to have guys, tight ends, fullbacks, come in and take snaps as a running back with that big package. There we are again. Fullback in. Extra lineman. They're going to hand it off once again. He's able to evade the first person. Falls forward. There's flags in the play, but he is in. Waiting on the referee's signs. He might be a little bit short. Maybe at the... Yeah, he's not quite in. Maybe at the... couple of yards out. Another player down. Another timeout for the injury. The drive has been somewhat stunted with unfortunate injury timeouts and with drops and with flags. It's been a long drive. They're looking to finish it off here. It's about first and five, sorry. In the red zone. DeLuca quarterback still. Takes a handoff to the tight end who's playing at fullback in the baby down at the 1.5 yard line. That's a close one. That's Stefano Barticelli, rather, not official tight end. This is the running backs. Apologies, Stefano. And then they sneak in. Quickly get up for the sneak. Is he in? Referee still no sign. Looks like he's short. It is short. Officially short. Are they going to try and run it back again, or are they going to try and do something a little bit more different? Could put Stefano back in the backfield. Could have a direct snap to DeLuca. Could have some kind of play action pass. Could have a lot of different things here. Options are open to him. Dragons are preparing for the run here, though. Third and goal here for Florence. Crowd getting loud for this one. I think they're going to do a direct snap to DeLuca. Lots of stop-start so far. Looks like another timeout. Dragons are missing Destiny on this one. That's going to be a problem on the goal line. His size, his strength. He's able to move people on that interior line and on the outside. Of course, he is a leading sack production player. Certainly one of the stars of the club. Here comes Florence back out for a very, very important third down. This is very crucial. This could be, don't mean to be hyperbole, this could be the game if they don't make this. And also Stefano, who's able to get into the end zone clean, untouched. Third and goal, Florence get in, narrow the deficit a little bit more. This one is back to being a one-score game. Stefano, arm tackles. Not going to stop him on that one. He's a big running back. Hard to stop that guy. They do have a lot of size in general on this Florence team, from the Lions to the running backs to the defense. Kick is up. The kick looks to be good. 17-14. Danube Dragons. 5 minutes, 12 seconds left. More than enough time to get on the scoreboard again for Danube. Also enough time for a stop for Florence and then potentially another score. Perhaps keeping Madre on the floor for this one. Keeping him running. Take a bit of time off that clock. Don't give Florence another opportunity to score. Because Florence have been able to move the ball a lot more successfully the more drives they've been given. It's kind of went from strength to strength. Had a bad start, had a few 4-and-outs, and now they've been able to get in the end zone and score twice. I think the referees have done a good job of this first half as well. Kick is rather short. Shorter field here for Danube. Five minutes, 12 seconds in the second quarter remain. all to play for still. We saw the first two scores, 14-0. Thought this might take a direction, which, you know, no one wants to see a blowout. Blowouts aren't fun for anyone involved, to be completely honest. But Florence have done an excellent job getting back into this game and establishing their identity again. They come out to Samuel. First down again. Moving the ball. Got out of bounds. Interesting approach. Are they going to try and get multiple scores? You know, they're surprised they don't have more emphasis on keeping the clock running. Try and get Florence out of it, because Florence are kind of putting a few drives together. Madre in the backfield, as expected. Quarterback drops back, some pressure at the middle, able to evade it, tucks the ball, gets sacked, or brought down early. You can see the difference with the quarterback play of them having a receiver playing at quarterback with DeLuca, and then Adams coming in as quarterback, tucks the ball immediately to try and run it. Doesn't keep his eyes upfield, try and make the pass. You know, it's dangerous to do so, but does show the maybe more reliance they're going to have as Madre as the season goes on. Important to keep him fresh too. Over the middle, Samuel with a catch, evades the tackle, able to bring himself out of bounds, it looks like, but broke the first tackle. He's so big, it's hard to bring him down. He has the size. Mention he has that length. He's another fantastic prospect. That left sideline so far, it's been very important in this drive for the Dragons, and they're going to continue to utilize it. Madre taking his time behind the line, takes the contact with Diego Rinaldi. Not much for him. Madre started hot. More passing game is being implemented, though. I think they're maybe trying to save him for the second half. You know, he had that big run earlier. He's had a couple of smaller gains. He's able to break off a couple of runs. But it's shown so far that they're trying to keep the passing game alive. Took a false start, yeah, on the pulling guard there. Unfortunate. See Manuel Massi there, long-time staple of the Florence team. Trips left for the Dragons. Play action to Madre. Hit over the top, but just over the head of Samuel. Isn't able to hit him in stride. Isn't able to get where he was going to be. Kind of hit more of where he was. A little bit over the top still. Fourth down. Third down, correction. Heard one of the coaches had bought into the coaches rather than looking at the actual markers. But third down and 10. Showing blitz up the middle. Pass over the top is caught by Samuel again. There's that length he has on the Firenze DBs. It's hard for them to get that ball out. It's hard for them to contest the hands when he's just such a big, lengthy target. His catch radius is just superior to a lot of other DBs he's going to play against. Here's a replay here. Play action. Madre picks up the block. Hit over the middle. Takes the contact well. Great catch. Great play. Big third down conversion. Here we have him again. Madre takes the ball. Hits outside. Able to get a little bit more yardage there. Yeah, such great ankle bend as well. You can see it when he makes those shifts. There's not a lot of running backs that have that kind of bend in their ankles. The center of gravity is super low on him. He's able to make a difference. Another change up in personnel here. Go for the All-American look again. Hakeem Kinyard in. With Madre stretched out. Looks like Hakeem might pass this. Hakeem does get the ball. He takes off, runs immediately. Great blocks, great protection. He's in for a touchdown for the Dragons. Great block in there. Excellent block in there for Hakeem Kinyard. The whole offensive line, all the receivers blocked excellently. And he's able to go in pretty fluidly without much contact. And that is a huge score for the Dragons. To have that third down, to make that play over the middle, and to finish off the drive with a touchdown with not very many minutes left for Florence to make an impact is imperative. Point after looks good from these celebrations. No time left really for Florence. I would expect to see some kind of kneel out, but you never know. 24-14 now, the score for the Dragons. It's been comfortable, but it's certainly not been dominant. They're going to want to pull away in the second half. If I know some of the people in the Dragons, which I do, they're going to want to pull away in the second half. They're not going to be content with a 10-point lead. 10-point leads are very easily lost. We just need to see how Florence can get around that. Trevara ready for the kickoff once again. Kick is deep. They're going to let that one go out of the end zone. You'll see a couple seconds here for Florence. .25 seconds left on the clock. Could see a shot and a timeout. They do still have two of their timeouts. We could see a shot deep and then potentially, if that's incomplete, another one. Unless they're content with a kneel down. Play it safe rather than potentially cause another forced fumble and end up losing the ball. No kneel in sight here. Throwing it over the middle. It is dropped again. That's a big drop. 4 seconds off the clock. Unfortunate drop there. We've had that's what's killed some of their offense today. Those drops. They caused some damage. At least 3 or 4 drops so far in the first half. He stayed down. Seems to be okay. Clock has gone to 21 seconds. 2nd and 10. 2 timeouts. Dragon showing some blitz. Player's called dead. And that's going to be halftime. 24-14 in favor of the Danube Dragons. A very eventful first half. We've had defensive scores, we've had offensive scores, we've had some drops. We've had perhaps some missed opportunities in the red zone for the Dragons, and that one stifled 4th down. All to play for still in this half of football. Interesting to see what the plan is going to be for Florence. 10-point deficit. They've had turnovers against them. They haven't been able to cause any. So, let's see how they deal with that. All good. We're going to go for a break now. I will see you after the break is over. Let's go into halftime. Let's see what happens. Yep, sounds good. Excellent. It's been a good game, right? Exciting one. I'm enjoying it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of the Danube Dragons versus the Florence, Florence team. We are going to be coming into the second half 24-14. Big points for Florence coming into this. Third down defense. Then allowing too much deep. They're coming in third downs and 10s, third downs and 15s. They're allowing the chunk plays. For Danube, they need to limit the run game. These short screens, they're going to be allowing that to happen. DeLuca's coming in at quarterback, is naturally a wide receiver. He's able to extend those plays. So for them, they need to limit that, stop, load the box, keep him intact. Because the receivers for Florence have been dropping a lot of balls. Guelfi, Firenze have not been catching some of these deep options. They've been letting them slide through the hands. Let's see what happens here. Kick is off. We have started the second half. Deep kick goes out of the end zone. Firenze have the ball first. They could easily get back into this game with a score of a touchdown here. Both teams with that key defensive piece. Alex Ferrari not playing for Firenze. Destiny not playing for Danube. See how it impacts them in the second half. See how the players that are coming in to fill those roles can deal with that pressure. Kinyard, you can see there at safety. Earlier, touchdown Russia. Chivaro there, switching sides to them. Coolbat takes a run, takes a couple yards there. Nothing too crazy from DeLuca. The game plan's obvious for Firenze. It has to be the run. They're not playing with a natural quarterback in. They're motioning in. Fakes the screen. Takes a shot over the middle. And it's nearly picked off. It was very nearly picked off. It's broken up in the end. But that was very nearly an interception there for the linebacker. Out of the hands of the receiver. Let's have a replay of that one. Very close. Two players knee bring it in, one drag knee bring it in, one Florence player knee bring it in. We're starting right where we left off, let's just say that. First half, very exciting. Second half is currently living up to expectations. Firenze going big. Handoff up the middle. He's breaking through. He's got a few yards out of it, and he's carrying it on. He's down the sidelines. Big play. That's that running game that we were talking about. Firenze have that running game. Here's a replay. Breaks through the middle, evades the tackles. A little bit of lag there, but we join back in with a pile. Crowd getting loud for the defense for the Dragons. Short pass out wide, able to get to the sidelines, but only for another couple of yards. It's Nicola Formosa. DeLuca looking back towards the sidelines. Gets snapped, takes it wide left, comes up the middle for not much, but able to turn it back around and make it into something, but it's down by contact. He didn't think so. Looked as if he may have not had his knee down there, but he is called down after a gain of maybe one, maybe nothing. Player down, staff on to help. That's Paul down. Earlier, of course, he got the fumble recovery for the touchdown, so it would be a shame to lose him from the game. Let's have a look. See if his knee was down. I don't think he was down on that play, but he is unfortunate that is called as a down play. Even he knows it. But Firenze starting strong. Dragons certainly aren't looking complacent, but for Florence to have the ball first is extremely important for them if they want to get back into this game. There we go, the linebacker. Junji Gao is back up. Love to see it. Up to seconds ago, nearly got an interception. Just off the fingertips. Certainly a Danube crowd. Fourth and 7 here. Are they going to go for this, or are they going to try and get offsides? They are going for it. It's sacked. Big sack there by the Dragons. That's huge. That's Thiago Losao, one of the import players for the Dragons at linebacker, at D-line. Let's have a look at the replay. Closes the distance well, wraps up, not taking any risks on 4th and 7, just get him to the ground. Don't need to try and rip the ball out and perhaps miss a tackle. Just need to get him down. Huge for Florence to not make anything out of that first drive. We saw them do that last time. This is better than that first drive in the first half, but still results in 0 points. If the Dragons are going to continue to run with Madre here and try and make a bit of a distance in the scoreline, we could have a big one here. Here we go. Well, cut back. Didn't see the run, but we cut back to Madre on the floor for 7 or 8 yards. Another player down, unfortunately, holding his leg. Danube taking the field again. The offense looked sharp. They had a hot start, slowed down a little bit in the middle, able to pick it back up and score before the half. Let's see how they can improve on that coming into this third quarter. Kovacs looking, gets out to Madre, who unlikely to bring that in. I'm not sure if he did officially bring that in, but it's going to be lots of yards if he did. Unfortunate. Clearly they're trying to get the ball in his hands. He's a big playmaker. Makes sense. Here they go again. Quarterback drops back. Big shot up top is brought down. Having some trouble seeing where it was there. There we are. We've caught up. Didn't quite see the full play. We'll have a replay now. Quarterback drops back. Throws that to that far left side. Who's able to bring it down through contact. Great play there. Number 6. Usain Afali. Awesome play. We've had success in those wide sideline passes. They have. X3. Able to line him up. First down. First set downs. They give it to Madre London up the middle. Runs into the lineman. Has his jersey. Is how they're going to bring him down. But they get him down. Another short gain there by Madre London. Dragons are marching. They're moving up the field efficiently here. What's that? Big chunk play again. Is what Florence have struggled with all game and in the season in Italy. They have struggled with these chunk plays on third downs and important second downs. Second down is 7 here. Fakes the counter, gets out wide to the receiver, who is stopped before he makes any real progress. A horde of grey jerseys. Unable to make much out of that screen. Of course, we've seen Florence have success with the screens. It is interesting how both of these offenses during the season in their respective leagues have been quite similar. Run heavy, bigger receivers, big offensive lines, and then defensively sound. But both susceptible to big plays. Cut back to play again. We didn't see that one again, but number 6 against Uze. Uze, the wide receiver. Have a replay of that one. What I left wasn't Uze. My apologies. Number 24, Matthias Locker. Here they come again. Hand off to Madre. Stifled. Nothing. Nothing there at all. Great play. That's important. That's what I mean by that size and that experience and that defensive line. And so Enzo Delapaggi again, another player that's been with Florence for a number of years. Plays a lot of rush, plays a lot of defensive end. Can play along that outside very successfully. And that is a big play on turnover on downs. Firenze coming back out. Failed on 4th down their last drive. Can they get a little bit more of it this time? First down. Motions in with the running back. Didn't see much of that one again with the camera cut. But it's 2nd and 5. Danube making an adjustment on the defensive line, playing with a 3 front rather than 4. Pitch out to the running back is fumbled. Big play. That's the 2nd fumble of the game. Looks like it's picked up by Danube. Yes, it is. Number 43 again. Huge play. 2nd fumble. That's Thiago Ledlau again. Wow. Another forced fumble. That one just an error rather than a forced fumble. Bobbled out of the hands of the running back. That's huge. We've had... That's Cosmo Cansati with the fumble. He's unable to get on it. The ball is unpredictable and it's on the floor, but Thiago gets down on it. Huge. They're winning the turnover battle. That's what the Dragons are doing at the moment. It's plain and simple. The offense is contrasting. 2 fumbles. You haven't had any interceptions thrown by either team. We're going to take another shot here. Incomplete. It's an NFL thing. Take a shot over the middle when you get over the 50. Quite common for teams and offensive coordinators to do in the league. We're already burning through clock. We're in 4 minutes, 35 seconds left of the third quarter. This has already had a fumble forced and recovered by the Dragons. We've already had red zone trips by the Firenze team. Certainly an eventful second half. Fakes a handoff to Madre. Takes a shot deep over the top. He's wide open. Oh, and he's dropped the ball. The contact over the middle forced it out. Great play there by Fanny. He needed to make that. Otherwise, that would have been a guaranteed touchdown. The contact saved a touchdown there for the Firenze team. That's huge. 3rd down and 10. Firenze need to step up in these situations. They haven't thus far in the game. They haven't made a big impact on these money downs. Are we going to see more trickery from Danube? We've seen him move in Akeem into the offense before in this game. Heavy D-line front for Firenze. That's a big broken tackle down the sideline. Number 16 breaks multiple tackles, walks into the end zone for a Dragon score. That's huge. That might have just stolen the game. Lucas Gold with the score. Got physical with him. 3rd down, money downs. Firenze have struggled with that all day, and see again. Twice already in this half. Here's the replay. Madre picks up the block as well. Super underrated part that he's doing for this team at the moment. Gold breaks the first tackle. In comes Lynch. Doesn't wrap up. Gold's too big to not wrap up. Walks it in. Touchdown's good. And the PAT also is good. What a start from the Dragons. A turnover already. A big play on the touchdown. We have multiple 3rd down conversions during the last couple of drives for the Dragons. They're looking solid. They're looking like they might walk away with this if Firenze don't get a big score or some kind of turnover. They haven't had the turnover success that the Dragons have had. They need that. They've had turnovers on downs, but morally they need something else. They need an interception. They need a forced fumble. They need a kickoff return. They need a big play. Right now, the big plays are all going towards the Dragons. Dragons are establishing themselves. They made it clear. Europe is the aim. They're doing a good job of living up to those words. Score is 31-14 in favor of the Dragons. We know it'll be close, but it does look like the Dragons are starting to get a bit of space between them now. 17-point game. 4 minutes 19 left of the third quarter. Kick is up and kick is good. Not going to see a return from the Firenze team on this one. If you're Firenze, limit in mistakes. They cannot turn the ball over again on offense. They've turned it over a couple of times. They need to lock in, keep the ball in the hands. Obviously, they're struggling without a natural quarterback in. DeLuca has been playing quarterback for them, the wide receiver. So their playbook has been incredibly minimalized, right? You have a player that isn't in position. That playbook gets shrunk down to what anyone can do, not just an established quarterback. So it's going to be a lot of runs. We've already seen that. We've seen 2 forced fumbles from said runs. We see multiple drops even, so the receivers aren't doing a massive job in helping De Luca when it comes to these passes. First down there. Didn't see the run, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll get a replay of that one. That was kind of stream cut out for a second, that one. But it is a big run. Gets over the midfield stripe. And into 4 minutes of run. Handoff up the middle. Gets 1 or 2. Firenze, currently caught in the sands of the hourglass, running out of time to make an impact in this game. Escasanti. Getting big with the running back sets again. A little bit more protection perhaps for him. They've had a couple sacks, the Danube Dragons. Bumps fakes, goes long. He actually nearly brought that down. That was a tough catch to make. It is broken up by Fabian Regan. It's a replay of that one. Ball came in high. Unfortunately, he cannot bring it down. Cosmo Casemilli. We've seen him go down previously in the game, so hopefully he's not stunted by the injuries. Another quick fake pass up the middle. He's got a little bit of space here for a good run. Falls forward on the pile. Probably got first down there. Yes, he did. It's an important run. Keeps the chains moving on third down. Snapped to De Luca. Fumbled it again. That's huge. Oh, and the ball comes out again. Oh my goodness, double fumble. And a little bit of after hours contact there by some of the players, but we need a replay and see exactly what happened there. I don't think the referees have actually made a call on the field as of yet. Players are pointing as they do. Nothing yet from the referees. Let's have a little look at this replay, shall we? So, snap comes in. Fumbled handoff. A Dragon picks it up. That's Thiago again. He then laterals it. Okay. And then the ball comes out again. And it looks like a Firenze player may have been on it, but it's unconfirmed. But fumble into a lateral into a fumble is something you don't see every day. Still awaiting the referee decision. Quite a bit of discussion going on. Dragons get. That was a very long explanation. I feel bad for the ref having to go through all those rules of the forward pass and this and that and fouls here and fouls there. That was a tough one to call, but that's why I am commentating and not refereeing in this game. They're going to take penalties on the offense, which will set them back, but a third fumble for the Firenze team is detrimental. There's really no other way to describe it. Having 3 fumbles on offense is never going to put you in the best position, especially when you're extremely limited by having a receiver at quarterback. If Danube can score here, I think they would put it beyond reasonable doubt. some complication with the ball spot, but we are back to it. Snap to Madre. He gets outside. He's got so much speed, it's going to be hard to get him around that corner. He gets another big chunk of yardage. We keep that clock running, which is probably good for both teams at this point. Outside run. Tackles containing it very well. Receivers, the aforementioned blocking ability from these receivers is above where other receivers are in terms of European blocking standards for receivers. There we go again. Too wide each side. Madre in the backfield. Fake it to Madre. Pressure. There's no sack. He gets the ball out. Not picked by the looks of it. Got it on the floor. But we have not seen any sacks from the Firenze team. That's a big part. We've seen them stuff the run behind our line of scrimmage. We've not seen them get the penetration that we would have expected them to get. 3rd and 1. It's 3rd down. Again. For the Dragons. Can Firenze make a stop here? Some lag on the stream, and we cut back to a probable first. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite see that one, but ball is spotted for a 1st down. Clock keeps on moving. There's a replay we have of that play. Actually, a failed handoff. Quarterback does an excellent job there of extending it and keeping it 1st down. Very nicely done there. Great playmaking ability. A little bit after hours again there from both teams. Getting a little bit chippy later on. So handoff again to Madre, right up the middle, gets low on contact, but so does the Firenze player, number 35. That's Rocco Zulecci. 3rd and 4. 2nd and 4. A minute left of this 3rd quarter, then we're going to be heading into the 4th. Danube just need to hold on. They've got the lead, just need to nurse it. No turnovers. No late cut, but then we get back to Madre, making more plays with his legs. He's been a problem. They'll slip there to end the run, which is unfortunate for him. But does keep the clock running. And we'll see the end of the 3rd quarter. A quick 3rd quarter. 2 turnovers for Firenze. Not what you want to see if you're a fan of the purple. There's a replay just of that slip. Hopefully he's okay. It'll be a real big shame to see him pick up a small injury or any kind of injury in his game back to Europe. (31-14) going into the 4th. A place in the next round at stake. Danube in the driver's seat. Danube are in the driver's seat. This year, finish it off. Job's not finished, as Kobe Bryant once said. So if I was Danube, we just runs down some of the clock, being safe, keeping the ball on the floor with Madre London, maybe taking him out, getting some of his backer running backs in who have done a good job in relief of him today. If you're Florence, you need to start causing turnovers. You need to either load the box, try and rip that ball out, get people gang tackling, or force the pass and try and intercept it. Alex Thuray has been a very solid quarterback today. He's been able to hit outside, he's been able to hit the deep passes. He's shown that on third down he can make the clutch play. Yeah, so Madre's been swapped out here. A bit of jitter. Unable to see the result of the play at the moment. We are cut back to, I'm assuming it was a deep pass. Here's a replay for everyone. Yeah, it takes a deep shot. Just unable to bring it down through contact. There's Fanny on the play there, defensively. Got a pick in one of the last games that Florence played. Hopefully you can replicate that this game. Unable to do it on that play. As Madre London runs, there's a flags coming in. Here's the replay pitch to Madre London. Again, using that speed, that elusiveness, that physicality. Solid run. And then just some contact after the whistle there. Another player. 3rd and inches in the 4th quarter. $15-yard penalty. Unfortunate. This is a chance for Florence to get back in it if they can get a big play here. 17 points is not impossible to overcome. It's going to be very hard. They're going to have to cause more than just one big play, but it's not over until it's over. Big 3rd down here for Danube. Madre spaced out as a wing. Heavy D-line front there. They're motioning in. That's an interesting play. 2 pulling players. He comes in, takes a sweep. Gets this sideline. Keeps fighting for yards. There we go. All the way out. Interesting run concept there to get Madre back involved. Another touch pass. That's the replay of that one. I think it's the patience that just sets them apart. Danube have limited mistakes as well. They're obviously going quite run heavy as they usually do, as that's their identity as a team, is run heavy. But they've not fumbled the ball. They've kept the handoff secure. They've been unpredictable in 3rd down. They've taken shots. They've kept the defense guessing. 4th and 9 here. They're going for it. You know, try and draw them off sides potentially, but no play ran. Timeout. Ten minutes left. Could we see a surprise with this next 10 minutes? We have seen crazier stuff happen. Is it unlikely? Yes, it is. But it could happen. You never know. Football is a very unpredictable sport. That's why we love it. I think as Europeans as well, majority of the players and people watching today are Europeans. I think that's what keeps us all here. The unpredictability of the game. More talking. Back to 4th down. Still coming out in an offensive package. On 4th down. We saw Firenze do this and then punt it with their quarterback in one of their last games. Quarterback drops back, takes a shot, and it is caught over the middle. Madre London, beautiful spin move. Walks his way in, dances his way into the end zone. That's spectacular. That's his first Madre London welcome moment there with that play. Great catch over the middle. Hopefully we'll get to see a replay of that, see the skills when he has the ball in his hands. That's what he does. That is what he does. He's that good. Big touchdown for Danube again. They are walking away with this one now. Hats out, might be the last we see of Madre today. Oh, it's one low kick. Found its way in. Might be the last we see of Madre London today. Obviously, they've got such a big scoreline. They might take him out, rest him up for the next game. All smiles and handshakes in Austria. Team are very happy. Here's a replay of one of the earlier plays of the handoff. What led us to where we are now. Here's the point after, which I'm not sure if it was deflected or just a low kick, but either way it went in and it still counts the same, no matter how it went in. Dragons coming out, breathing fire today, that's for sure. Maybe a bit premature for MVPs, but Thiago at linebacker, that's a good shout for recovering a couple of fumbles. Madre London, probably the favourite for its big runs. His touchdown just them to kind of tie up the games. 38-14 in favour of the Dragons. 10 minutes left of this Central European Football League game. Home crowd still loud, even in the fourth quarter, which you love to see. So that's the quarterback. He is still remaining in the pocket. Pass goes up, and he able to bring it down. Great catch there by number 14. Finally, maybe some momentum. They might be able to get on the scoreboard before. That's Nicolo for the Massa again. For the Mossa, rather. The leading receiver, as mentioned, for the Italian club is DeLuca again, back to pass. He gets called. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get called down, but the running back's out with the scramble. That was a great play. That's the kind of plays they need. They got kind of unlucky with the earlier play where it didn't touch the knee. Looked like he may have brushed the grass for a second there, but I don't think he did. We'll get a replay at it now. Very close. He's able to bring it out. Taking a shot. Unable to find anyone except for a man in green who already has a touchdown today. I'm sure he wouldn't have minded another one. Got to respect Florence though. Coming out, still trying to get points on the board. They're certainly not taking their foot off the gas. We've seen a lot less of that trickery. Of course, their starting quarterback isn't in. DeLuca is starting this one. He's taking another shot. He gets kind of hit as he throws it, but still able to make some positive yardage. 3rd and 1. That play was. Looks to be a fresh set of downs, which it is. Here's a replay. Protection held up. A loose throw, but brings it in. Solid tackling again. We mentioned it earlier. The Dragons are a solid tackling team. There's a quick screen out to the running back. And he's able to get... He fell forward for a couple more there. Good run. It's Casati again. Being a regular feature on those screens. Of course, a natural running back. But stretched out wide to be part of those bubble screens. 8.5 minutes here. Edging ever so closely into the red zone. Quick pass out, unable to see the result of that play. But based on the fan reaction, I'd say not much. Well, maybe I'm wrong. This will be a first down. Quick snap. Able to run it up the middle. Great play. Bit of open space. Makes a move on the linebacker. Great play. Great run there by DeLuca. Showing what he can do when he has that space. He is a receiver. Getting the ball in his hands. He is also a rec receiver in the IFL. So give him that opportunity. He can do that. Trying to keep it quick there. They need to do this. This is great decision making from the offensive coordinator, from the head coach. Keep everything quick. Get the momentum back for at least this last 10 minutes. Put some points on the board. Perhaps make a comeback. If it's unsuccessful, at least they go into the Italian league with some more momentum. Here's a replay of that draw. That's a great move there. Takes contact, wraps up well though. There's Fabian again, wrapping up well. I've seen him a multitude of times today on those short plays and on affecting the run game, even as a defensive back. Here we go. DeLuca takes a shot, but it's just over the top. Isn't able to make much of it. Incomplete. Second down. They could still get the first and have a fresh set of downs still in the red zone. So, kind of an offensive play called a choice on whether they want to go for the first or whether or not they want to go for the score. There's Nicolo again there. Getting ever so close to pay dirt. 3rd and 5. Big down here. Offense aren't set up just yet. DeLuca lines up behind center. Can't see anything just yet. Oh, it's picked off! And it's returned! It's still going, it's still up! He's all the way! Camera's gone the wrong way! Touchdown! There he is! Oh my goodness, this game is wraps. Niels Movold. Wow. Wow. I didn't see all of it, but I saw the important parts. We saw him pick off the ball and we saw him walking into the end zone. I think that says a lot about what happened. He was able to put on some shifty moves to get into that position. Goodness gracious me. What a play by Niels. It's a flag on the play. Doesn't seem to be against the defense of the Dragons, which is good. Congratulations on that. Is an outstanding play. That might be the play of the game. 2 defensive touchdowns, 4 turnovers. The Dragons' defense has come to play. Here's a replay of the action. DeLuca drops back, looks right. Great play on the ball. Great play on the ball. Avoids a tackle, avoids another tackle. Keeps his head in a swivel, breaks the plane, blocks are good, makes it into the end zone. You couldn't write a better pick 6 if you tried. Awesome play. Play of the game for me, for sure. Good stuff. Even if it didn't count, I'm still counting as play of the game. So unfortunately it didn't count. Just been removed off the board, probably for a block in the back or something. I didn't quite see what the call was, but that is unfortunate that that will not count as an official play. Remains 38-14. Bit of confusion on my end, but clock runs. That's still going to be a killer for Firenze. Of course, the turnover and the points are taken off the board, but the mental side of it, well, the turnover's not taken off the board, the points are. Oh, possible offside. The backup quarterback's actually in. He's just taking a shot. It's over, but it looks to be a free play. Lucas Sharam now in at quarterback, given the deficit which the Dragons have made for themselves. Okay, no sight of the field. Shortcut, there we go. Rotationary players able to get their time in the sun for this game now, which is good. It's a positive side of when a game gets this much of a scoreline. Some players that don't necessarily get to shine during the season will be able to get some carries, some catches, some tackles now. 5 minutes, 49 seconds left of this game, with a pretty much guaranteed win now, you would think, touch wood, for the Dragons. They're going to win this one. They're going to move on to the next round, assuming all goes swimmingly for the next 5 minutes, which you would imagine it would do. But perhaps this is an example of commentator curse. That would be, I'd feel rather guilty if that were the case. Unsure what happened there, but we've cut back to a thinker sack. Yeah, 4.5 minutes. Lucas Schramm still behind center. Looks left, takes another shot for it. Falls incomplete again. That's Lynch there. Not seen the best of this Firenze defense. They do have an excellent defense. If this isn't a complete accurate representation of their score and how they have performed as a defense, the offense having 4 turnovers without their starting quarterback has been detrimental, of course, naturally. DeLuca again taking a shot over the middle, which is cool. It's a great play. It's actually broken the field and in for a touchdown. That's actually an outstanding play. Still a little bit late, but Cosimo Casati with a long run. Long catch and run. This ain't over. This ain't over. Let's have a replay of that one. Kind of caught me a little bit off guard, but DeLuca rainbows it over the linebackers to the natural running back who breaks speed on everyone and walks his way into the end zone. Just like that. It ain't over. I just said it was over, and now they've scored, so maybe it is commentator curse. Two-point conversion is no good. Jivaro there, again. $18 points. Still 3-point game, 3-score game rather. Likely to see an onside kick. I would assume an onside kick here is plausible. From Firenze, they need to have the ball back. So you would think an onside kick here makes sense. With 4 minutes, 10 seconds left. Ball goes out of bounds. Had some jitter, so I wasn't able to see it, but given the flags, I assume it's safe to say. Yeah. You can imagine they're going to keep on the floor. Try and run the clock out. Shut down any hopes of a Firenze comeback. You got 4 minutes. You got the 2-minute warning. Still a 3-score game. So I imagine Firenze won't dispute the clock running down with timeouts. So unfortunately we had another lag spike there, so wasn't able to actually see the play, which has been unfortunate. Clock continues to tick down. It is probable Dragons win. 3.5 minutes. Takes a shot, which is surprising. Broken up. I'm surprised that they're taking shots deep. Firenze do still have 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning. Third and 7 has turned into 1st and 10. Clock is going to hit 3 minutes. An exciting game from start to finish for sure. Just when you think it's over, the Firenze team bring out a big running back scorer. You're going to get a handoff here up the middle for a couple extra yards. That'll probably see us into the 2-minute warning. Seems they've called a timeout actually rather than go for the 2-minute warning. Danube just going to finish it off. I would be surprised if Florence used their timeouts to extend this game, given the 3-score deficit they find themselves in. But maybe a case of it's not over till it's over and you've got to see out the game properly. Nearly a fumble, but a running back's able to get some little bit of room and a couple more yards before being sent back an extra few yards for his troubles. So replay that near fumble. Did a good job of keeping it in his hands. Of course, we've seen the fumbles from Florence this game. That's been probably the biggest reason for their lack of success on offense has been the fumbles. Of course, the quarterback is out. And Luca's been stepping in as a receiver that plays quarterback. But it's been the drops, it's been the fumbles. Right? If they had a couple of those balls caught in the sideline in the start of the first half, perhaps this is a little bit different, but to have that interception late in the red zone, to have the 3 fumbles, 2 of which were uncaused fumbles, just lapses of concentration on the handoff. But yeah, it's unfortunate to see Florence not be able to put a full strength team, but you could also say Danube don't have a full strength team either. And they've been brought in Madre London back to Europe, which is of course the main storyline that a lot of people are going to be recalling about this game, is Madre London's return. It's excellent for the league to have him. It's excellent for the Central European Football League to have him. Quite a long break here. As the offense coming back out. Possible false start there. Takes a shot just in case. High arc. Lost in the camera work, but it's brought down. Oh my goodness. They're not done. They are not done. Oh my goodness. Danube. They are not done. Just when you thought it was over, they've added the cherry on top of the cake. Big catch there. Just takes it over him. There's a replay. High arc and the ball comes all the way down. Just beats the defender to it. Fanny's not able to get it. He's too big. We've seen him get into the end zone before today. It was gold for a second, I believe. That was something. To have the play, just have the game nearly over. Just take one more shot. They're going to kick the PAT. I think a lot of people are saying, they've not had the most success in the league so far this season. Perhaps they will struggle against a Firenze team that has had success this season, being 5-1. And I think the coaches of Danube just wanted to put a bit of a point out there, prove it. We're here. Could do it as well. So, Austrian League is a very competitive league. And just shows the quality within that organisation. To be able to put 40-odd points on what was last year the second best team in Italy, with 45 points in total and 2 minutes left of the game, and have such a good defensive performance and such a good offensive performance, and they've locked them up on special teams too. It's just been a complete performance by Danube. They've been dominant team from start to finish, literally from start to finish. They scored the first play of the game, and they might have just scored in one of the last. So, congratulations to Danube, who look to be moving on to the next round. But we do still have the 2-minute warning. We do still have the timeouts for Firenze, if they choose to take them, of course. A bigger deficit now. Gone into a 4-score territory. There is a flag for the kick going out of bounds. Two minutes, 7 seconds left. 0 timeouts for Florence. 25-point gap. Could see a couple of knees here. Could see him maybe go for one more. I mean, we did just see them have that big play by the running back to get over the top of the defense and to run it in. So we could see that again. It's been quite an unpredictable game. Looks to be a false start there. It's been an unpredictable game. So I should probably stop trying to predict what's going to happen and just let it happen, because this has been such an intense game. Although the scoreline is wide, it's not lacked excitement on both ends. Another handoff by Kane. Gets 1 or 2 yards. That'll see us into the 2-minute warning. Which looks like we might be moving through for the sake of game speed. Another run by Kane. 90 seconds left. Third down. If they go for it on fourth and then they get ball back, Danube could go for 50. Danube could still go for 50. I think it's more than likely to see another run here. Yeah, Kane gets a carry again. Bounces outside. Actually does get a very solid run and a first down, which will keep the clock moving. Get some more stats on the board for the Firenze team. Probably one more play. "32 seconds left." Hand off to Kane again. Actually had some decent runs. Again, he gets another decent one. Probably 9-10 yards out of that. And that will most likely see us through to the final whistle. Danube Dragons 45. Firenze Guelfi 20. The Danube Dragons are moving on to the next round of the Central European Football League. We'll have to wait and see the other fixtures to see who they are playing in that competition. But a complete performance by the Dragons. Start to finish, first play of the game, setting the tempo, getting that big score. Turnovers on the defense. Huge fourth and third down makes. That's what tied them up the game. They're going to go into the AFL with some momentum. Firenze have the IFL still within their touch and within their reach, so they're definitely going to go for that. It's been a pleasure calling this game for you. Hope you guys, everyone enjoyed. Thank you to the Central European Football League for having me on. This was a pleasure. Thank you very much. There's the ending handshakes. Good to see everyone uniting with European American football. Such a growing game. It says excellent that we get to see this level of competition, just going up and up and up and every year. And whoever the Danube Dragons do play, they're going to have a tough game, both sides.